England 7. Well, let's hear from a man who's been on the touchline today for England, Gareth Archer. He's talking with Graham Simmons.
Gareth Archer, for the first time in 3 weeks, it almost feels good to be English again. That's the best 40 minutes of rugby on tour.
It is. It's absolutely fantastic. The guys have came out there, they've really fired at them. They've played it very, very well. They tried it out wide for a while, nothing was happening. So they've brought it back in. The back row are playing well, hunting together as a pack, and they're hitting it off the areas around 10 and 9 where the All Blacks are soft and getting in behind them. And I think we're very unlucky not to come away on level terms after that first half with the last break on the line.
I'm almost feeling nervous here. How are you feeling?
Very, very nervous. I mean, it is a bit of a surprise, but the boys out there are warriors and they're here to upset the party.
OK, thanks very much, Gareth. Enjoy the second half. Mark, all yours. Thank you, Gareth.
Thanks, Graham. Well, is it in the realms of possibility that England can somehow beat the All Blacks in New Zealand? We're about to find out. The second half coming up. Let's hand you back to the commentators, Stuart Barnes and Miles Harrison.
Well, that must have been a much more comfortable half-time team talk for Woodward and Mitchell.
Well, England went forward, they varied their game, they played with commitment, and they have hit the soft belly of New Zealand. They haven't tackled well around 10, and they are not tight in the tight.
And Spencer is on. Carlos Spencer has come on to play in this second half, a change in midfield for New Zealand, and that was looking pretty obvious.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed with the New Zealand midfield. I thought really that they struggled there. Meyerhoffler struggling a little bit. Ralph will now have Spencer inside him to add pace.
And it's Cockrell to throw into the first line out of this second half. Can England maintain their game, keep it at a high level? That wasn't straight. And referee Peter Marshall, you have to say, made a terrific decision at the end of that first half. Yes, Clark did get downward pressure, but the pressure was on an All Black leg. And the referee was spot on in the white-hot atmosphere of international rugby. That was 10 out of 10 for Marshall.
Well, another big change there. Norm Hewitt has come on, face-to-face with Cockrell. They came to blows on the street, now they're on the pitch.
Well, they've done it before on the street, as on the pitch as well. At Old Trafford, remember? That's when it all started. The famous Harker to New. Spencer. Couple of marvellous sidesteps by Carlos Spencer. What an impact. Couldn't find the other substitute.
Right, guys, I think it's off black hand.
Hewitt. Knock-on's been given.
Well, now we know why there's a 50-metre billboard of Carlos Spencer outside our hotel in Auckland. That's what he can do. Brilliant play from Spencer. Interesting changes. Spencer to give that acceleration and that vision, and Hewitt to make sure they get the basics right, because New Zealand basics have been poor thus far.
Spencer quite comfortable in the role at centre. Look at that. Bit of Spencer magic.
Well, he's got a great step and he's got pace as well. Low to the ground, very dynamic. He's a very exciting player.
And the referee's coming around to check the binding here between Vickery and Dowd.
Vickery's bearing up very well again this afternoon. He's one of the England players who's just steadily got better on this tour.
Drive early from New Zealand.
You're going forward, guys. He's not going to put it in where you're going forward. Just keep it steady. Just wait. Wait for the locks. Square. Wait.
And you could see it there, written all over Cockrell.
Just wait for the crouch. Wait, guys. Let's go half. Bang. Wait for it.
Dawson.
Bad kick.
It's Cullen's ball. Good tackle from Perry on his opposite number. Through goes Fiddler, but it came off an England player's hand, so it will be a New Zealand scrum.
Antonova looking disappointed. It looks like there's a bang to the calf, but I think they'd have made that substitution anyway.
Well, that's been his injury problem of late, that calf muscle. And it's been packed with ice. But you're right, it was a problem for New Zealand in the first half. The control from Hooker. And Hewitt couldn't wait to get on last week. He didn't. And he was chomping at the bit again this afternoon. And there he goes, driving into Clark and Vickery. Tanu, Mertens, Radar, not quite firing. Wilson is though. And Fiddler backtracking to make an important interception.
I'm not certain if Austin Healey is defending this afternoon. He hasn't laid a hand on Jeff Wilson. But again, New Zealand go over the top and the danger is averted.
Well, it's Healey's fourth game against New Zealand in under a year. And in all of those matches to date, he's impressed.
Yeah, but he's struggling against Wilson. It's a New Zealand team not on top of their game, but Jeff Wilson is having a sensational match.
And if Hewitt's struggling, New Zealand are in difficulty because Oliver, as we saw on the bench, with an injury. And Hewitt's hobbling around and trying to run something off. Wasn't straight from Cockcroft twice now.
Guys, that's not straight.
Bad start to the half for Richard Cockrell. John Mitchell and Clive Woodward head in hand. A lot to be pleased about, but the line-out work has been poor at the start of this half. England mustn't give New Zealand soft ball.
And it seems so crazy because in the first half it was exemplary in that department. Blackadder and Tromfeld. Diprose tries to swing him round. Ball's there, but New Zealand driving over. Tanu, Mertens, Spencer to Lomu, and Lucy's made one big tackle on Lomu, but all he could do that time was deflect his stride until reinforcements arrived. Mertens looking unusually hesitant, and Diprose with the interception. Clark. There's no doubt New Zealand are rattled here. Dawson. Baxendale slips into fly half in attack and finds Randall. Dawson again. Now Lucy has to play fly half. Stimpson. Ball back inside and it's Caleb Ralph.
That was loose from Stimpson. Threw it away and it's turned over. England have based their game on not giving turnover ball. That was sloppy.
Now Stimpson is trying to cover the fullback position and he may be required. Blackadder and Diprose. Had a big game, Diprose. Mertens. Spencer was out on the touchline and he gets around Stimpson and Beale and then another man as well. It was Cockrell who was left on the floor. Lomu. Brown. Knock on.
What's the thought?
You get the feeling Carlos Spencer is out to make a point in front of his home crowd. Mitchell, a right to look worried there. But again, the final error comes from New Zealand. Fiddler down, but he's having a good game.
And Spencer is already starting to weave his web.
Steps magnificently, doesn't he? A real blazing talent. Doesn't have the control of Andrew Mertens, but playing at second 5/8, that's a devastating combination.
Dawson. Cullen underneath this high ball and safe and sure as always, but he runs into Cromfeld and that's an accidental offside. So the elementary errors now coming from New Zealand.
Well, how often do you see Cullen make a mess of a counter-attack? Probably one hand's worth in his career, and England now have a really good attacking situation. If they can control this scrum and put a wheel on it, they can get at Andrew Mertens.
Diprose off the base. Dawson, Lucy, Baxendale. Healy's going after it. And so is Cullen.
But that's a good kick, infield, intelligent. Cullen's got no space, no time, no angle. England have the ball. And Auckland Park is not quite the Fitzpatrick party we expected.
Well, there's a stunned disbelief in the crowd.
And Baxendale is one of the reasons, the architect of a lot of original play.
Fine take from Fiddler. It's Ben Clark shouting the orders here. Head popping out the middle, in the driving seat. More weight required. It comes from Diprose, and Diprose, the man to launch off the back of the maul. But Cromfeld is alive to the threat. But it's in from an offside position, and it's another penalty to England. And when you think back to the first half and those missed kicks, one by Perry and one by Dawson, it could have been much closer. Issa Tolomarka has replaced Todd Blackadder. Now, we know all about Marker. Excellent for the academy against England, and that's a first cap for Issa Tolomarka.
He's a high-impact hitman, and New Zealand at the moment need him. He's not on for the ride and the debut. He's on to do a job. 100-1 against England, and it's 14-7. It's a long way to go, but this is Alamo with an attitude. Well, Alamo in Auckland. Could be Texas. Been to a few good Tex-Mexes.
Dawson has got to show full confidence.